Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. The Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors, January the 22nd, 2019. Roll call, please.
Leyland.
Here.
Schwartz.
Here.
Trelka.
Here.
White.
Here.
Little.
Here. Okay, would you please join us in a moment of silence? Okay, would you join us in a Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving on to item 1, agenda received.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is public comments. Is there anybody who'd like to speak to the board? It's not an agenda item. Okay. Not seeing anybody. We'll move on to item 3, claims and payments.
Good morning, Board. Blackhawk County expenditures total $175,477.88. 175,477.88. All appear to be in order.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Leyland.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item B.
Country View expenditures total $36,223.33. 36223.33. All appear to be in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Comments? Roll call, please.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item 4. This is receive project updates from department heads and or elected officials. Morning, Kathy.
Morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, County Engineer.
Morning.
All trucks and motor graders are out on the roads this morning due to the snow and ice conditions. Many of the gravel roads right now have blown in over the long weekend. The motor graders are out, and depending on the snow that we received today, they should be out today until 5 p.m., opening back up the roads. The trucks, the snowplows are out on the paved roads right now, spreading sand and salt. It seems like the eastern portion of the county right now is getting a bit more snow right now, while the western portion of the county seems to be more slippery at this time. At least that's what our maintenance superintendent is reporting. I just want to remind the public that to give snowplows plenty of room when you're traveling behind them, to please practice safe driving practices. And then also it is customary for due to snow conditions, for example, if it's very windy out and it's snowing, the motor graders in particular will not be out until the snow has stopped and it has stopped blowing. And then our policy allows for 48 hours after that time for us to get all of our routes open. Generally it's less than that, but just occasionally we can take the full 48 hours. Can I answer any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else? Okay, moving on to item 5 is minutes approved for January the 15th and January the 18th of 2019.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we do have a hearing. We'll get to that here shortly. Item 7 is a consent agenda. This will be made with a single resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Trelka.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, item 8 is reports, update for Bed Deli Gardell, which I do not see. Okay. We'll move on to item 9, contracts and agreements. This is a resolution at the lowest bid, reasonable bid received from Story Kenworthy, Cedar Falls, Iowa, for the conference room tables and chairs at Pinecrest with a bid of $36,222.40. Rory, you want to address this one?
So moved.
My concern on it, that it was overbid from what we budgeted.
Good morning, Board. Rory Giving, Maintenance Superintendent.
Morning.
I realize this was on the agenda previously, and it was tabled to ask, I guess, answer any questions you might have. It was overbid. It was we had actually budgeted $30,400 for this. When I put this project together, well, approximately a year ago, my focus was looking at a quality chair and a quality table. And I actually used this conference room as kind of a bit of a guide, although for the chairs I wanted to get something that was a little more durable, given that the chairs over at Pinecrest for this project are going to be used on a pretty regular basis. So I felt when I put that project together that I was a middle-of-the-road chair. After that point, we had actually had a local company come in to give us some advice on layouts and what they thought a good layout given the two areas and the dimensions of these areas. And so we did that, and we started looking at the chairs that we had. The chairs that I had originally budgeted were not stackable. The tables were not foldable. And so I guess after much thought on this project and also talking with some of the department heads over at the Pinecrest facility, we felt that we could actually reduce the number of chairs and tables, still keeping us within that price point. The other thing that I wanted to try to accomplish was to pick a brand that we could get multiple vendors in this area to competitively bid on them. When I put this budget together, I literally went out and looked at pricing, but one thing I did not look at was how many of the local vendors could actually get me that chair. So we came up with Hahn, which is a pretty recognized manufacturer for furniture, and we felt when we put the RFP together that we would be within that price point. There was a couple unexpected charges. For an example, delivery and setup was quite high, I felt, but and if you look at the breakdown from the various vendors, it was kind of all over the board. So that one did surprise me a bit. Unfortunately, the chairs did come in much higher than I anticipated. The tables came in right on price point where we originally anticipated. Both the tables and chairs are good quality. We've looked at them. We've had them over there as examples. The tables do fold. The chairs do fold as well and stack. So when they're not being used, they can safely be put away and stored. They can be moved from one area to another if so be, if the need's there. What we looked at was a conference room on 4th floor and the chapel area are the two areas. But if it came down to it, there is a conference room on 2nd. These are they all have casters, so they're mobile. So I do feel the furniture itself is very good quality. But yes, it did come over, roughly 16% over budget. So one thing that we could do, being that we are dealing with just tables and chairs, if the board wishes, we could take this back out for bid. We could we could look at other styles because it's all over the board. I mean, there's so many different options out there. So we could take another stab at this if the board wishes to do that.
Did they have folding tables in there prior?
The tables that I originally budgeted for, they folded. The legs folded.
Oh, what's in there now? It's being used now as a conference.
Very similar to what we have here, had here at the courthouse, the old wood grain where the legs fold in.
Okay.
Very heavy. And that's one of the things that pushed us towards this project is for the employees just to move these tables around. It is a challenge. In fact, we were over there last week for a pre-bid meeting. We had to rearrange the chapel a little bit, and they are quite heavy. Yeah, even the existing chairs that we have over there are pretty heavy. So this is just a more user-friendly. You can manipulate the room much easier. You can store these chairs easier. And it is a recognized, very recognized manufacturer that multiple vendors in the area do carry or support. As you can tell, we did get multiple bids on this. So,
And you mentioned, Roy, too, that you had changed the number.
we did.
what the initial
We actually we had a company called Story Kenworthy come in, and we laid out a couple different designs in each area, and we were able to reduce actually the number of chairs that we had. But we actually did increase the tables by just a few. But we were able to reduce the number of chairs.
So do you have the number that you changed?
Yeah, originally, when I originally budgeted for this, there's actually 255 chairs, way more than what we needed for those areas. We took it down to 100. And then we had roughly 32 tables originally budgeted, and we bumped that up to 40.
And those chairs are the same for both the conference room and the chapel?
Yes.
Are these Han chairs here?
No, these are not.
And I think the issue too we talked about earlier was that you no longer really had money in your budget to pay for it because of some other things that have come up through the year.
Yeah, we have items in my budget that are bonded items. So when we look at just my operating budget with the capitals that are in my operating budget, as it sits right now, it doesn't appear that we're going to be able to cover that with our budget. In talking with Susan, she felt pretty confident that there may be other areas, other departments that she could pull from.
I was gonna say, I went out there, I went out to Pinecrest to look at the chairs, just because I was curious as far as the condition, if there was some that maybe we could wait or delay, or do the conference room and not the chapel, or, I mean, do the chapel and not the conference room, or something like that, too. I didn't see a tremendous amount of chairs that were there now.
We've got quite a few. There's 2 storage rooms in the chapel where they those chairs just stack on top of each other. So we have a few stacks in there, and we do kind of flip them back and forth from the chapel up to 420. And the chairs that are there are very good quality. I mean, they're very old chairs, but they're very heavy duty. They are very outdated, and they are heavy. Again, to move them, say if you had to move chairs from the chapel up to 4th floor, you'd definitely have to have a cart in order to do that, but it can be done.
Did you think some of the chairs were in better condition? I mean, good enough to retain? Or, I mean, I guess I'm thinking we're at budget right now as well. That's also an issue, you know, like.
I think they're all pretty
some
much,
chairs for
it's pretty consistent. They all look, you know, fairly much the same. I didn't see any chair that looked worse than another. I think they're kind of a mauve color and a cream color, so they're different colors. But
Do they move chairs now?
we have done that in the past, yes.
And you spend a lot of time because of the weight of them, because they're so heavy compared to what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of time wasted on moving from room to room. They're cumbersome, they're big, they're outdated.
So what are we going to do? So with those chairs, the chairs that are
We'll
there,
we'll take pictures of them like we always do. We'll take a picture of them, and then if anybody's interested, we'll, you know, nonprofit agency, or we'll. We've been working a lot with the Restore here in town as well. So,
might it make sense to save some if we're reducing our chair purchase from, you said 255 to 100? Might it be that we would sometimes need more?
we felt like we were really heavy on chairs, and in talking with the department heads over there, very rarely did they ever have to grab any out to accommodate an audience. I think back in the it's been many years ago, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they actually used to hold public meetings in the chapel area, and I'm imagining at that time they maybe had to break out more chairs.
We've held a budget area.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of interested in doing that again now that we've invested in a new sound system there and everything. It's the nicest space that we have in the county.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious about just expanding the use and the utilization of that hall and making sure we've got the things in order to do it.
And you're absolutely right. Once the new audio and video system gets put into place, that's going to be a very usable area. I know state uses it quite often. I think Department of Health has used it on a number of times.
I think that was our intent, is hopefully that more people will be
Yeah.
able to utilize it, especially in, our
The
area.
acoustics aren't very good in there, though.
They're not right now, but one of the projects that were approved at last budget was to do those audio and video, and that is a bit of a challenge to get it so it doesn't have that echo effect. But some of the companies that we've reached out to, they have a lot of experience working in large auditoriums and churches, and so I don't think this is going to be anything out of their league to figure out. But I do feel with the 100 chairs, in the fact that these are lighter, they're on casters, if we do hold a large event in the chapel, there's nothing to say we couldn't move those chairs and accommodate what we need to in that chapel area.
None of us have seen the chairs, I guess, or any of the,
I probably should have put it on a zip drive.
I just meant, since we are talking about making that a nice use area, I guess we want to make sure it's done right the first time.
I'm just going to pass this. I should have probably had it for the screen, but I'll pass it around. This is the table, and that's the chair, and then if the other copies are the layouts that we proposed.
Sure. Because I thought it's such a large auditorium at the place. That's what casters, I guess, I'm kind of curious about too, rolling around if you're sitting in an audience setting,
Right.
you have casters.
What kind of floor is in there?
It's carpet in the main seating area, and then up on the stage, it's got the old mosaic tile. It's really nice.
Okay, has anybody got any other questions for Rory?
I don't know, do we want to, were you suggesting, Chris, we kind of table it and see what other chairs are, I mean, as far as.
I think we've got a motion on the floor right now.
You don't have a second.
We don't have a second.
I mean, I guess I'd like to know what the total like fire capacity is in that for seating purpose, and then make sure that we've got enough, because I really do picture us utilizing that a lot more.
No.
That's a very good question, Chris, and I should know that off the top of my head, but that's something I can figure out pretty quickly.
Okay.
Well, and maybe we like the nicer chairs, but maybe we do need to
I think the
take a
biggest
little bit.
crowds anymore are like 50 at best.
Yeah, but we'd like to increase that. I think that's what we're
Right.
thinking.
For what?
Once it's so nice.
What are your thoughts on it?
For a lot of uses, I guess, for anybody that could utilize it, the departments, but other events, CSS could certainly hold their meetings there with that large a size.
Well,
Yes.
I will say, when we had Story Kenworthy come out, they on this diagram here, they actually laid each chair out. There's approximately 90 chairs that fill up that seating area. So with the 100, that was kind of the mindset that we would have the ability to put the max amount of chairs in that area.
What was on the bid? What was the guarantee for price? How long?
Guarantee. Oh, how long is the bid good for?
Yeah.
It doesn't say. Typically, it's 30 days.
And there's nothing urgent about this, is there?
No.
I mean, as far as we could probably get these tables and chairs ordered relatively quickly.
The only thing that's, no, it wouldn't be urgent. We do have a training coming up for security, but there's nothing to say we couldn't use what's there, so.
Yeah, what's the board's pleasure?
Rory, could I see this?
I'd
Oh,
rather
sorry.
table it a little bit, I guess,
Yeah.
table it for a short time at least until we have a.
Is that a motion?
Look at it, yes, I'll make a motion to table it for
I'll,
now.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to table it and get some more information, and it'll be back out at a later date.
You gonna vote on that?
Yeah, just hold on a second. Okay, is there any more? Rory, did you have anything you wanted to add then?
So the information that you would like for me to bring back, one would be the occupancy of the chapel area, is that correct?
Well, when you talked too
And
about
with
the
the-
100 chairs, that you said would work rather nicely, but that was taking the ones then from the conference area, so that was really utilizing every chair.
With the exception of about 10 chairs,
Yeah, so, yeah. but that's
And what the
something-
average attendance is out there for any event we have.
Yeah.
Well,
even
you can get the average attendance, but
Even
that's what we'd like
CSS,
to
even
see grow.
CSS would be 35 people at best.
I'll talk
We're
to
all
each.
part of different coalitions that do, like, I'm part of the Crush Coalition, and we do educational events all the time and looking for venues. So it'd be nice, we're investing taxpayer funds into this facility to open it up for those kind of county things that we're involved in, to have a really nice place that the county owns to use it. So that's what we're looking at. So not just with the current use, but if we're making this investment, looking at what the expanded uses of this can be.
But wouldn't you want nice furniture in there?
I'm sorry, what?
Wouldn't you want nice furniture in there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're not.
Okay.
But I don't believe that building's open at night.
Yeah, and that's gonna cost.
So you're gonna
that's
have to
be
watch,
extra cost.
when you talk about events, it's gonna be during the working
Extra
hours.
cost.
Most of those are during the day, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will say, just also mention that is probably back in 2009, 2010. FEMA did utilize that chapel area as a place for the public to come in and work on applications, and that was a fairly large crowd, not all at once, but a large crowd coming in, throughout the however long they were here.
okay, anything else?
No, we can let
Okay.
you know if there is.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on to other business. This is a resolution of tax sales submitted by properties be abated under the code 445.16 of Iowa. Rita sent something out on this. It's just cleaning up some old properties.
There were 1992 tax sales. At that time, the tax sales were figured on a day-to-day basis. We're going to a new real estate system, and it will add additional costs to the new real estate system for just these two that we are never gonna collect anyway. And we're just debating, asking for the abatement of the tax sale only. It's not,
So the other taxes will still be on there.
and it'll go to tax sale again, but it will be under the
Yeah.
new code.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else got any questions? Do we have a motion second?
So moved.
Motion,
Pardon?
was there a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Trelka?
Yes.
Little?
Yes. Okay, moving on to our hearing now. The time is 9:25. This is on a proposed ordinance number 77-22222 Junkins rezone. Item 1 is a motion received, place on file, proof of publication.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is a motion to waive the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 3 is a motion to close the hearing as oral and written comments are received and placed on file. Are there any written comments?
No, sir.
Okay, Seth.
Okay, yeah, the Planning and Zoning Commission at the regular meeting on December 18th, 2018, reviewed the request by Deanna J. Jenkins to rezone 2.9 acres from A Agricultural District to AR Agricultural Residential District to allow for the construction of one new single-family home at 6736 North Butler Road, which is approximately 900 feet south of the Butler Road and West Cedar-Wapsie Road intersection. The request is just basically to rezone 2.9 acres from A Agricultural District to AR Agricultural Residential District in order to build a new single-family home. Was moved by Sack and seconded by Fesenmeyer to approve the request to rezone 2.9 acres from A Agricultural District to AR Agricultural Residential District in order to build a new single-family home. Motion to approve carried unanimously. The parcel containing the 2.9 acres from the proposed rezone area has been zoned A Agricultural District since 1982. The rezone area is currently A Agricultural District. It consists of trees, vacant land. The surrounding area consists of trees, vacant land, rural homes, some farmland. The surrounding area is also zoned Agricultural District. To the south, Agricultural Residential District to the north, AR Agricultural Residential District and Agricultural District to the east, and Butler County with rural homes to the west. The rezone area is designated agricultural in the future land use map. None of the area to be rezoned is located on a special flood hazard area, according to FEMA. Site has a land evaluation score of 45, and a Lisa score of 188. The applicant is proposing to rezone 2.9 acres from A to AR in order to build one new single-family home on the property. The site meets lot and size requirements for agricultural residential district by being greater than 1.5 acres in size and wider than 150 feet. The current owner of the parcel will provide a 20 feet access easement to the north property as part of a future minor plat request. If approved, this would be the second lot split requested for a lot of record. The guidelines for a minor plat allow for a lot to be split up to 3 times before it could be considered a major subdivision. A rezone request to rezone 2.9 acres from A agricultural to AR residential district to the north of the proposed rezone area was approved by the Board of Supervisors on August 19th, 2014, and a minor plat area for 5.5 acres was approved by the Board of Supervisors on December 16th, 2014. And this is just that little lot to the north. The proposed rezone area is designated C within the Blackhawk County within the Blackhawk County Waterloo Airport Land Use and Overlay area. The maximum height allowed for a single-family home is 35 feet. The elevation of the site is 900 feet. Total height is 935, and the allowable height is 2,373 feet. Therefore, all conditions have been met. Heiberger indicated the site contains shrubs and trees. This will only be the second split of the lot of record, and there were 3 properties to the north that have already been rezoned from A agricultural district to AR agricultural residential district. Glover also noted the low Lisa score and land evaluation scores. The technical review committee did not have any concerns regarding this request.
Anybody there an objection?
No
Okay.
objections.
No, and I said, yeah, you've already commented, I guess, the low Lisa score and some of those things as far as meeting the qualifications, and I think I read on the application too, there was no well needed because rural water was available.
My only question for the NRAs is how much of the timber they plan to preserve that's on that property.
I believe, yeah, their intention is to, preserve as much as possible, and basically be sold to a new owner, and then they'll decide what, trees need to be taken out for the placement of the home.
So we'll see it again
Yes.
when that occurs.
Yes, for the minor plat. Yep.
Great.
Okay, anybody else? Do you have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution to suspend the rules.
So moved.
A second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. And the last item is ordinance adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. And our last item is any reports or information from the board at this time.
Just like to send out condolences to the Schmidt family of Evansdale that lost their father and dad in the fire last week. And also congratulations to the kids 14 and under and the Waterloo Blackhawks. They won a tournament up in Rochester, took first place, won the state championship.
Okay, is there anybody else? With that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.